Alrighty, good morning everybody. We're back with another Legacy Cube. Oh, I just realized I'm wearing the wrong shirt, so you're gonna have to deal with Headless Kano during the draft. Or Bodiless Kano. So there's Preordained Delver and Daze in this pack. And as we've seen from several decks we've played, Daze is actually like quite nuts. I wish I could take all three of these cards. Yeah, we're gonna take Daze. Passing Delver and a powerful cantrip, though, probably means we're not getting either of those. There's a Brainstorm. Brainstorm is much better when you do have fetch lands to shuffle away the cards you don't want. There's also a Champion of Wits, which is a very powerful, what do you call it? Recursive draw engine? I don't know. Alternatively, there's Devil's Play, which is the worst of the fireballs, I think, but it's still not terrible. Or Dreadhorde Arcanist. I'm gonna take Brainstorm. Ooh, Supreme Will. So we could go blue-black and take, like, start taking things like Kitesail Freebooter. We could take Supreme Will and just stay blue. Or we could take Teferi or Entreat the Angels and go blue-white. The cards we have right now, I kind of wanted to play a tempo game with. However, there's a lot of white cards in this pack, and not just that, there's a lot of control white-blue cards in this pack. So I'm going to take Teferi. We're going to see if we can't draft a good old-fashioned blue-white control list. So I would take Frost Titan here. Frost Titan or Blessed Alliance would be very good, but I think we're definitely going to need some fetch lands, especially considering we have a Brainstorm. Mana Confluence would be good fixing. Elspeth is good. I'm going to take the Misty Rainforest, though. So, whether or not we want to stay strictly blue-white control, I'm not sure. If we do, we want to take Terminus, but I've frequently seen Terminus wheel. I think it's better to take Steam Vents and have the option of drafting red cards, but I don't know if we want to be playing a 3-color control deck unless we have very, very powerful options in our third color. So Core is not really what we're looking to do in this deck. Cast Out is good, and so is Narset. We do not have anything in the 3-drop slot, but Cast Out is a cantrip or removal. This is kind of tough. I'm going to take Narset. Forgive me if I sound a little weird or I'm acting a little odd. I have not had any coffee yet this morning, and I've been awake for a little bit. So I'm kind of in this weird, bleary-eyed, not normal state for me. Okay. So we have land tax, scrubland, which we can't fetch for, Swift Spear or Whirler Rogue. We could take Swift Spear and, like, sort of do the tempo thing, or have a tempo threat. Land tax is extremely powerful, and is another way to shuffle our deck. It's just depending on what type of game we want to play here. I'm going to take land tax. I think we're going to go hard into the control route. Of these cards, I think we take Crater Maker. We could take Firecraft, but double red is going to be kind of hard. Fairgrounds Warden is good, but this card is way worse than it looks, in my opinion. It looks good, but I think it's way worse than that. Okay, Recruiter of the Guard, Dreadhorde Arcanist, Devil's Play. The flashback mode of Devil's Play is not splashable, but the front half of it is, so there's some potential there. Recruiter of the Guard, we don't have like any creatures we want to play currently. And this is toughness 2 or less. I'm going to take the Arcanist. A lot of our removal is going to be like bolts and things. So, okay, Entreat the Angels is the stereotypical control win condition from like 2014, which is nice. There's Wall of Omens, which we can use to help survive. Or we could take like Avalanche Riders. I'm going to take Wall. I think Wall is going to be more important. It's going to help us consistently get to the late game. Blessed Alliance, very good card. Searing Spear or Inspiring Vantage. Well, I think I'll take Searing Spear. It's good to have some burn spells. Maze of Ith is good. And Rotten Reggie. So we're hoping to get a couple of good cantrips, a couple of board wipes, and a couple of big threatening win conditions. So Click is really good. Tundra is also the card we're looking for. Like, Remand, Baneslayer, Click, all of those can really, like, there are other options for them in the cube. I don't know how likely it is we'll see them, and passing them, it's likely one of these will come around, maybe, but Tundra will not, and we need Tundra. So I'm going to take Tundra. If you're drafting a control deck in Legacy Cube or Vintage Cube or even Modern Cube, one of the defining factors of how good your control deck is the threats that it has, but more so than that, it's how consistent is the mana. Because if you're playing all tap lands and pain lands and no fetch lands kind of a deal, and you're playing a control deck, you're going to be a turn or two behind where you should be, and potentially not even have the colors you need, which is very bad in a control deck. Alright, there's a Volcanic Island and a Seeker of the Way. Forbid, I think, is a little too expensive, though the card, I've always liked Forbid. I just never found a way to make it work properly. So Volcanic Island lets us play Searing Spear. Seeker of the Way lets us have a tempo threat and a very big lifelinking threat 90% of the time. I think Volcanic Island is too big to pass, especially with the Steam Vents. So if we start getting like a lot of burn spells, we'll just go Jeskai Control instead of Azorius. Magic Online will be taken offline for 3 hours. Oh good. Or in 3 hours. So hopefully I can get through this league before then. If I have to finish it later, I guess that's fine, but... Okay, Cryptic. That's what we're looking for. I would consider Rabble, and I would consider a Braid. Condemn also very good, but Cryptic is Cryptic. This also means we have to be base blue, which we are. All of our duels are going to be base blue. Ooh, Time Warp. Time Warp, Karn, or Time Raveler. I think Time Raveler is actually too strong to not take here, even with Search for Iskanta and Time Warp. So, we'll take Time Raveler. We do need to find a Path or a Swords, and we need to find some board wipes. Okay, so Mentor is a good control win condition. Ponder, I think we're going to need more. This is a board wipe, and not a lot of people pick Realm Cloaked Giant. Also, it does not kill Titans, as I have discovered and rediscovered about 4 times. I'm going to take Ponder. I have a feeling that we are going to need Ponder a lot. Okay, Snapcaster is good. We have Brainstorm, we have Ponder, we have Daze, all of which are pretty decent with Snapcaster Mage. Alternatively, a Flash Sarah Angel is pretty sweet, but she might come around because there's not a lot of decks that want that effect. So Snapcaster it is. Okay, Sun Titan would be good, but Colonnade is like the land we want. It is like the control win condition land. Other than that, I would consider Lightning Strike, just because 3 damage burn spells are good enough if you're playing Jeskai Control. But we'll take Colonnade. Colonnade's fixing and a win condition. Okay, we can take Gideon. And I've not been a huge fan of the Gideon, but like he's okay. Or we can take Fixing, and I really think we need Fixing. Okay. We're probably not playing any double red spells in this deck, but I will take it because it is our off color, and you never know, we could find a whole bunch of, like, splash for it. I guess we take Augur. Augur is not very good in this deck right now. We only have 4 or 5 hits for Augur. 6 now with Condemn. I guess we'll take an Anguished Unmaking. Well, we're never playing a Nicol Bolas, so I guess we take Smiting Helix, even though we're probably never playing Smiting Helix either. Take a Bedlam Reveler. I don't think there's room in this deck for double red cards. Even though we have 2 fetchable blue-red duels, and blue is our main color, I do not think we'll be able to play Rekindling Phoenix or Bedlam Reveler. Not without a much more compelling reason to play red. Yadaro might be it, though. Yadaro's actually kind of good. I don't know. I've never played, personally, this card. But, like, I've seen a lot of good things from it. Okay. So Sphinx's Revelation is great. Ancestral Vision is much better. Council's Judgment should wheel unless there's another person in blue-white. And if there is, we've kind of already got other problems. We need to find a board wipe this pack. That has to happen. We have to find a Day of Judgment, Supreme Verdict, something like that, because somebody took Realm Cloak Giant, or there was something else I needed to take over it, I can't remember. But Ancestral Vision. We also would not mind more 2-mana counterspells. We have not seen Mana Leak. The only one we've seen is Remand other than Daze. Which, Daze is a little awkward in a control deck, but it is technically a free counterspell, and we can use it to protect our Planeswalkers if we tap out for them. Okay, so Dak Faden is good, but Dak Faden is not as good in this cube as he is in Vintage Cube. In Vintage Cube, he's nuts, because you just gain control of, like, a whole bunch of broken artifact mana. And while some of that exists in Legacy, it's not as good. So Maria Angel creates a bunch of birds. Tamiyo's Bay. Deep Analysis is card advantage, but I don't think this is a deck for Deep Analysis. We could take Chain Lightning. We are kind of low on 1-mana removal. And if we take Chain Lightning, we can actually start playing like Dreadhorde Arcanist. I really like Tamiyo, but we need more removal, and we have not seen a board wipe yet. We have 3 Planeswalkers, 2 of which are like a persistent threat that can potentially win the game. I'm going to take Chain Lightning. And I think this means we're going to start playing red. Young Pyromancer does a decent Monastery Mentor impression, though it's not as good. It's still good. Marsh Flats can fetch Tundra, nothing else. Oh, I didn't even see Gideon when my mic was blocking him. I think we probably should take Gideon. I like Flame Slash and Young Pyromancer, but like Gideon's Gideon. And we're a control deck without a ton of top end at the moment, so... Okay. Oh, damn. Okay. So, we have a good burn spell here. We have... Riftwing Cloudskate is a good control spell, because you suspend it early and then you forget about it and then it comes down and wreaks havoc. Lyra Dawnbringer is a great control win condition. And Martial Coup is a board wipe. It's a 7-mana board wipe, but it is a board wipe. And it's also a board wipe that puts stuff onto the battlefield. The problem is, I think I need to take Martial Coup, because we have not seen a board wipe and we need to guarantee that we have at least one. But I would much rather be taking Burst Lightning or Fact or Fiction. But yeah, I think it's got to be Martial Coup. Okay, we have Opt, Lightning Helix, and City of Brass, as well as Elspeth Conquers Death, and we do have a number of Planeswalkers. The problem is, so we could take Opt, but we only have like 2 counter spells, so holding up instant speed cantrips is not as good. Or we could also take Talrand, technically, yes. I think I'm going to take Lightning Helix. Okay, Supreme Verdict. Whew. I definitely want Supreme Verdict. There's a Swords in this pack, but it's probably not going to make it around. Take Verdict. We really needed that board wipe. Okay. I think we take Glacial Fortress here. Fire Prophecy is pretty decent. Abbot's okay. Brawl's okay. Containment Priest is potentially good. It is a flash body, but the more fixing we have at this point, the better. Yorion. Do we have anything worth flickering with Yorion? Wall of Omens, Snapcaster Mage, Augur. Potentially our 3-mana Planeswalkers. We could take Yorion. Oh, Remove Soul. I didn't even see Remove Soul. I got so blindsided. Yeah, we'll take Remove Soul. Remove Soul is actually really good in this format. So here we take Banefire or Sphinx's Revelation. I'm thinking it's gotta be Banefire. We don't have a ton of mana ramp or anything, though. Yeah, I'm gonna take Banefire. Okay, Tamiyo or Riftbolt. Riftbolt is kind of derpy, but it is a fairly decent removal spell. We could take Flametongue Kavu as well. I think I want to take Tamiyo. Okay. So now it's between Saheeli, Flame Slash, or Young Pyro. With the number of creatures that we have 5 creatures, Pyro's probably okay. Especially with like Dreadhorde Arcanist, if we're flashing back 3 different 1-mana spells. Just CMC. Oh gosh. Yeah, okay, we'll take Young Pyro. Burst Lightning. Talrand. We're gonna actually have to make some cuts. I was worried. And we did end up playing red. I'm kind of surprised. I was really thinking we weren't going to. Mizium Mortars or Jace. I'm going to take Jace and Honor of the Pure on the side. Okay. So what this means is that white is going to be our splash color, which is kind of horrible considering that we have 2 white mana spells we're going to be playing. Oh gosh. Well, we have a lot of cantrips, and blue is our primary color. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. Okay. I don't think I'm playing Wall of Omens, but I will like bring it in versus an aggressive deck. We need to cut 4-ish cards, potentially 5. Land tax is fixing. It's also really powerful card advantage. So I think we have to keep land tax. Blessed Alliance is really good, but it's better versus mid-range and aggressive decks. It does basically nothing in control matchups. I guess if it's better in 2 out of the 3 controller combo, I guess if it's good in half, it's probably good enough to keep. We are going to keep all of our burn spells. All of our burn spells go to face, which is nice. Hang on a second, I believe the dog is misbehaving. What are you doing? Come on. Okay. Alright, we still gotta cut 4 cards. I think I'm gonna cut Jace. I don't know if cutting Gideon is correct. We could cut Gideon and Martial Coup, but they're so powerful, just to reduce our reliance on white mana. But if we do that, it's going to be harder to cast, like Supreme Verdict and such. Jeez, what do I cut? So Dreadhorde Arcanist can flash back 1, 2, 3, 4 spells. I mean, technically he could flash back Condemn like on himself, if we really needed the 1 life. I don't want to cut Tamiyo either. Oh, we might have to cut Tamiyo. If we're playing against a less aggressive deck, like a more control-y deck, and the burn isn't as good, or like the Condemn or the Blessed Alliance or something, we can just bring in more threats, I guess. Okay, still 2 cards to go. I think I'm going to cut Banefire. It's good, but like... Oh, actually, we have Teferi, it's really good. Martial Coup... I'm going to take out... We might bring it in if we need another Wrath. Okay, hang on. Let's take a look at what our mana looks like. We'll see about Maze of Ith. 11 blue sources, 6 red sources, 8 white sources. That's actually pretty good. I don't think we can play a control deck with just 15 lands if I bring in Maze of Ith, though. Okay. We're going to try it like this. We might have to make some adjustments after the first game or two if I'm paying attention and actually remember to do that. Hang on. I'm going to go change my shirt because I'm tired of being floating head Kano. Okay. Muscle shirt Kano time. Okay. Let's do it. Let's play Jeskai Control now. Alright. Here we go. This seems fair. We'll keep. Opponent is playing a white mana deck. Play Scalding Tarn. Fetch Tundra. And play Land Tax. Pass the turn. Your move, opponent. Opponent plays a Goblin Crater Maker. Sure. We untap, and opponent does have more lands than us. So we are going to search for Plains island, island. Then we draw. Ponder. Let's get aggressive. No, we'll save that for next turn when we can Pyro. Play Augur. Do we want to reveal Verdict? If we don't, it's going to be at the bottom of our deck, but with fetch lands and a Ponder. Let's not reveal, just so we don't have to discard too many cards here. Discard an island. Okay, opponent plays Thalia, Heretic Cathar. That's fine, because we're all out of non-basics. Okay, opponent passes, we untap. Land tax. We will not be using land tax's ability this turn. We get Teferi. We could just Teferi minus on Thalia to be annoying. That's probably pretty reasonable as long as they don't have removal for Augur. Otherwise, we try and gum up the board. This is only when we cast instant or sorcery spells. It's not like Mentor where it's any non-creature, I think. I mean, unless our opponent has a better 4-drop spell, they're going to have to just replay Thalia. Okay, we drew Cryptic. Pass the turn. Rekindling Phoenix. That's pretty good. We untap. Land tax. No, we will not be using land tax's ability. We get Narset. So, play an island. Tick up to Fairy. Pass the turn. Man, we've got access to instant speed ponders on our opponent's turn now. Okay, opponent plays Swift Spear. Our opponent played a land this turn, okay. So they go to combat. We can tap all creatures they control and bounce Rekindling Phoenix because they can't replay it this turn. And then if we play Teferi next turn and leave mana up, we can remove Solent when it comes back down. This also protects Teferi. We don't need to draw a card because our opponent is still enabling land tax, so we can just get a land. I think we do that. I think we bounce Rekindling Phoenix and tap all of our opponent's creatures. Unless they're an aggro deck playing Manamorphose, I don't know how they recast Phoenix this turn. Opponent can play Thalia, but that's okay. We're basically all basics at this point. Okay. Opponent plays Thalia. And a Giver of Runes. Sure. Okay, we untap. Land tax. We will use land tax's ability. We don't need another mountain. Let's get a plains. Just one. Oh, that's nasty. Alright, tick up to Fairy. Play a plains. And yeah, we'll just pass the turn. Opponent plays a mountain. Goes to combat. Gives Thalia protection from blue. Wrath the board. Unfortunately, we will not be able to remove Soul Rekindling Phoenix, but we can tuck Rekindling Phoenix. Okay. We'll go Pondering on our opponent's turn. Ooh, Snapcaster Mage. No, we're not going to shuffle. We'll draw Snapcaster. Opponent gets Rekindling Phoenix. We untap. Still getting land tax triggers. Get an island. Play an island. Tick up to Fairy. Play other to Fairy. Tuck Phoenix. Pass the turn. And we've got this game locked up, I'm fairly sure. Yep. Nice. Moving on to game 2, we are versus an aggro deck, which means we're going to change our plan slightly. Versus an aggro deck, I am going to bring in Wall of Omens and Martial Coup. We're going to go down against spells that are better versus control decks. So I don't think we actually want Narset versus our opponent because I don't think they're drawing any additional cards ever. And while she's double impulse for 3 mana, she's more likely to just die, I think. And then we need to go down think we're gonna go down Yudaro. Yudaro is a good win condition, but cycling him a bunch versus this aggressive of a deck I think might be difficult. And casting him is, well, 7 mana, so... Okay. This is not a very aggressive hand, but we'll keep. We have a lot of mana and a lot of things we can draw. Plus we have Condemn, Snapcaster Condemn, so... first draw is Burst Lightning. So, we're going to play Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Play Seachrome Coast. Pass the turn. We're probably just going to Burst Lightning. The 2 mana, 2 damage burn spell. Legion Warboss. It's not likely that we will be able to Supreme Verdict. But I think this needs to die. We can take 2 this turn, but we don't want to let our opponent get a bunch of tokens and get out of hand. Okay, opponent gets in for 2, that's fine. We draw Cryptic Command. Play an island, pass the turn. We might have to just Condemn Thalia here. Okay, opponent plays Plains. If they play a Rekindling Phoenix, we're going to save Condemn. Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. Okay. Well, I think ideally we would like to draw a white source, but can we get a Misty? Play an island. We're going to save Misty because we do have a Brainstorm in the stack, and we can't... Oh no, we can fetch a white source. So, something to remember. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. That's getting cryptic. We draw Gideon. Okay, opponent makes Aurelia, big Aurelia. Hits us for 4. We draw Tundra. Okay, play Tundra, because our opponent does have an effect that makes our non-basics come in tapped. So we might as well get them untapped while we can. Yeah, I think we have to Snapcaster Condemn here. And if our opponent floods the board, we're going to just Verdict. I think they're currently trying to play around a Wrath. Or they just don't have that many threats, which would be bad for them. If they're playing around a Wrath like they should, we might actually be in a little bit of trouble depending on what we draw. I did not want to use Snapcaster for that, especially when we had a Cryptic in the yard and we were only 1 mana off of doing that, but like, you know. Okay, opponent gets to go Scrying. 1 card on the bottom, 1 card on the top. And it's Thalia. How you doing, Thalia? We draw Martial Coup. Interesting. I'll play an island. Play Gideon. This makes creatures enter the battlefield tapped. Okay, so the tokens are going to be tapped. That's fine. We will just chump, I think, with Snapcaster Mage. And we're probably just going to set up to Wrath anyway. I think our best top deck would be like Remove Soul. Oh, okay. Opponent is Banishing Light for Gideon. Opponent attacks. We'll block Thalia, because we do have a Wrath. Get a Blessed Alliance. Go to combat. Attack our opponent for 2. Supreme Verdict. Play Misty. Pass the turn. Okay, so Martial Coup is now officially a Wrath, not just a token generator. Opponent plays a mountain. And they've got nothing else. We get an island. Ponder is good here. Ponder. Young Pyro's pretty decent. I was kind of hoping for a Planeswalker, like Teferi. Could be really, really slow and put Ancestral, or draw Ancestral here. I think we're better to shuffle. Okay. Remove Soul is fine. I probably should have just taken Young Pyro and tried to end the game quickly. But I'm kind of hoping we draw a better threat here shortly. Okay. Also not a threat. Should have just gone with the Young Pyro. Sorry, everybody. I don't think we're losing this game. I should amend my previous statement. I just don't think... Opponent plays Burmaz? Yeah, that's fine. We're just going to Martial Coup as a kill spell. Okay, now we have a clock. Opponent plays a Glorious Anthem. The old Glorious Anthem, no creatures. We play a Glacial Fortress and a Wall of Omens. We draw a Teferi, go to combat, hit our opponent for 5. Take them to 19. Play Teferi. Plus Teferi. Draw Lightning Helix. Untap some lands. Pass the turn. While we're holding 6 damage in our hand for our opponent's face, we have a Remove Soul. Yeah, I think we gotta save Remove Soul for something like Rekindling Phoenix that our actual burn spells don't do anything against. But Helix Mentor, untap, draw, Daze, draw card, Young Pyro. Play Young Pyro, go to combat, get in for 5. Pass the turn. And I think we got this game locked up as well. Gideon, Ally of Zendikar. We do not have an answer for that. But that's okay. Go to Makes a Knight. I mean, I guess we could just Teferi Gideon. Draw Ancestral. Tuck Gideon. And that's the game. We could also tuck Banishing Light and get our own Gideon back. I totally forgot that was an option, and I'm glad that that wasn't required to win that match, so I'll see you guys in round 2. Alright, in round 2, here we go. It's not amazing, but it has all of our colors of mana, and we get to ponder turn 1, so I mean, like, life's good, right? We'll keep. Opponent starts Swamp. We draw Seachrome Coast. Play Seachrome Coast. Play Ponder. Ugh, any order, shuffle. Get a Colonnade. Pass the turn. So we'll play Dreadhorde Arcanist, because Arcanist can flashback Ponder by attacking, provided he doesn't die a horrible Doombladey death. Opponent plays a Stonecoil Serpent X2. So we draw Ancestral. I guess technically we should do this. Pass the turn. Opponent attacks for 2. Takes us to 18, sure. And plays an Una's Prowler. So maybe they're Reanimator. Get a Steam Vents tapped. And then pass the turn and untap. We draw Cryptic. Play Colonnade. Play Arcanist. Pass the turn. I'm not above discarding a land to shrink the first hit from Una's Prowler, simply because we are going to be drawing a crap load of extra cards. And we already have double white, so I'm going to discard Plains. Block like this. Take 1. Murderous Redcap. Nice. Well, it does kill Dreadhorde Arcanist and prevents us from pondering. We can still Snapcaster a Ponder if we needed to. Okay. Ancestral Vision ticking down. We draw a Banefire. I think we just hold up Cryptic. We could Banefire to kill any one of our opponent's creatures. But theoretically, we draw Wrath off of Ancestral Vision. So, like, I don't know. So when it plays Lumbering Falls, we're taking 7 this turn. Is that too much damage? I don't think it is. I think we have to hold up Cryptic here. If our opponent has counter spells, we're probably screwed. Alright, we have a Daze, which we can use to kind of maybe protect Cryptic. We'll see. Okay, opponent goes to combat. Tap all creatures our opponents control, and draw. Get a Young Pyro. Opponent could have animated Lumbering Falls and attacked with it there if they wanted to. I don't know what this is, but it's getting dazed. Okay. Ancestral Vision's coming off Suspend. We draw a bunch of extra cards. And Glacial Fortress. Okay. I kind of want to Banefire X1 to get rid of Una's Prowler. It's too bad we can't play Young Pyro before that. But we can play an Augur of Bolas and a land tax in the same turn, and that's pretty sweet, because Augur can block either of those creatures. So I think what we do is we start Augur of Bolas, see what we draw. Kind of hoping for a Lightning Helix. Remove Soul or Searing Spear. I'll take Searing Spear. Rest of the bottom. Play Glacial Fortress. And then Searing Spear, Prowler. Play land tax. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a land tax active. Animates Lumbering Falls. Okay. Block here. Take 5. Land tax trigger. We will use its ability. We're going to get 2 mountains. We draw Verdict. So if we play a mountain, we have Snap Cryptic. We also have like Pyromancer Snap Ponder or Pyromancer Banefire to kill Stone Coil. I think we have to Pyromancer Banefire, because that gives us a token which we can use to chump Lumbering Falls, and we can just Augur to block Murderous Redcap. Is there a universe where we play Pyromancer and hold up like Snap Daze? Or Snap Searing Spear, actually? That's better. That's better than Pyromancer Banefire. Okay. Play Pyromancer, and we'll leave up Snapcaster Searing Spear. Pass the turn. Lumbering Falls has hexproof, so unfortunately we can't really do much about that, unless we block with a token and a Snapcaster, and risk getting 2 for 1 off of removal. I still might do that. Okay, opponent's going to go to combat. Well, we've committed to this. Searing Spear, get a token. Kill Stone Coil. Block like this. The problem right now is we just got rid of all of our instant speed interaction. Toxic Deluge X1. Well, that was unnecessarily brutal. They get to persist and take us to 3, which means they have multiple lethal threats. Eternal Witness. They're going to pick up Stone Coil and just cast it X1, because that would be kind of funny. So the problem is, while we have a Verdict, we do not have any way to gain life, and we need a way to gain life, which means we are going to maximum land tax this turn. Draw. Condemn. So Condemn still doesn't do it, because the threat that we're dealing with has hexproof. We can play a land, animate Colonnade, block Lumbering Falls, and then Condemn something else. And I think that's our only way to stay alive. Oh, jeez. Because Colonnade takes 5 to animate, which leaves us with 2 mana. So we can't Banefire and Colonnade. Or, we can, but we'll animate a tapped Colonnade, so... Alright, we just pass. We're going to discard a Mountain. Okay. Opponent animates Lumbering Falls. Goes to combat. Swings out. Block here. Condemn here. Almost thought I tapped wrong. Probably should have tapped differently, but okay. We go to 2. Please no collective brutality. Okay. We untap. Draw Volcanic Island. So opponent has 2 cards in hand. Do we Supreme Verdict? We could play Teferi, go down to 3 mana, and have a Banefire, and leave them with a 1/1. But if they have any way to increase the power of this creature or have 1 more damage in reach, we're probably screwed. Actually, we can play Teferi Tuck, Murderous Redcap, but then that gives them the ability to just kill us. I think we have to Verdict. I think that's the safest. Okay, Supreme Verdict. Play Volcanic Island. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Verdant Catacombs and cracks it. Tropical Island. the old hard cast Dread return for a lethal Murderous Redcap. Did not see that coming at all. Alright, so we just went to a little bit too low of a life total there, which is unfortunate. So, we're definitely bringing in Wall of Omens and Martial Coup. So what do we go down? I think it's the same thing. I think we drop Narset. Yeah, I think we dropped Narset and Yadaro and run it back. That was very close. I think we did a good job staying alive that game. Well, up until we didn't, obviously, but... Alright, we'll play first. Suspend Ancestral is a great start, so is Land Tax. I think we're going to start Tundra Land Tax. Pass the turn. I should have, I think, started Ancestral, but we drew Daze, so that actually makes this hand the correct line. The line that I took the correct line, I mean. So opponent is definitely some kind of Reanimator. So, bounce an island. Daze. Land Tax and Ancestral. So, Mountain, Plains, Island. Then draw. Brainstorm. Perfect. Play an island. Pass the turn. Oh, man. So now we have Remove Soul. And it plays a forest. Midnight Reaper, I will say no to. Pass the turn. We untap. Land Tax trigger. We're going to go get an island. Just 1. Draw Scalding Tarn. Play a mountain. Play Teferi. Uptick Teferi, pass the turn. I think that was like the strongest possible opening line we might have. Okay, opponent plays a forest. We have to be careful about down ticking because they could just play Swamp and then a Murderous Redcap. Okay, Land Tax. We are going to go get a basic. Draw Wall of Omens. Play Wall of Omens. Draw Burst Lightning. Take up Teferi. Play Scalding Tarn. And pass the turn. Alright. Opponent gives up. Likely due to the lack of a second black mana source. Always draft fixing, kids. Yeah, I think we'll keep it the same way. Just hope we're lucky. Land Tax on the draw is good. Brainstorm, not so much. We'll keep... Well, I guess land tax can shuffle away whatever we brainstorm. Opponent suspends Search for Tomorrow. We untap. We draw Ponder. Play land tax. Pass the turn. Okay, land tax trigger. We're going to go get an island and just an island. We draw a Young Pyro. Play an island, pass the turn. We might Blessed Alliance here. I'm very tempted to brainstorm, but we're not looking for anything at the moment. So I think we're going to just Blessed Alliance. Okay, opponent cracks Verdant Catacombs for a tropical island. Oof. That's a problem. Okay, opponent ticks up Ashiok. Hits Chain Lightning, Condemn, and Tundra. Goes to combat. Oh, make him sack an attacking creature. Okay, past our turn. Let's go get a mountain. We get Searing Spear. Play a mountain. Play Young Pyro. Mana! Oh, alright, that's a punt. That is a major, major punt. I meant to tap the white and the red so that we could leave up Brainstorm or Ponder. Opponent exiles 3 lands, or 2 lands and a Dreadhorde Arcanist. They had the Doomblade 2 maximum punishment. Alright. Let's brainstorm. We get a Banefire. We're going to put back Steam Vents, Island, Land Tax. We're going to go get that island and shuffle our deck. Draw Colonnade. Play Island. Ashiok's going to go to 9. Take him to 6. Take him to 1. Lame. Alright. Pass the turn. If we had just kept that token too, we'd be fine. Had I tapped right. Plains and Lightning Helix. At least our opponent only gets a Wall of Omens. So, Searing Spear, Ashiok. Untap. Land Tax. We're going to go get our last mountain, because we need it. We get it to Fairy. So we can either hit Ashiok for a lot of burn, which I don't think we can do. Let's Ponder first. Put them all back. Shuffle and draw Snapcaster. Okay, Snapcaster is good. Play a mountain, pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest. Ticks up. Hits Augur. Okay, at our opponent's end step. Snapcaster for Searing Spear. Searing Spear Ashiok. Untap. Land Tax. I will not be using Land Tax's ability. We draw Misty. Play an island. Banefire Ashiok for lethal. Go to combat. Attack our opponent. Okay, opponent plays Sad Robot. Gets a land. Land Tax. We will not use its ability. We draw Burst Lightning. So, play Colonnade. Play Teferi. Have to be careful because we are running out of cards. Uptick Teferi. Pass the turn. Basically, this turn we're just leaving up Remove Soul. We will not be Burst Lightning anything, I don't think, because it's going to have to go to our opponent's face. And I think we're going to have to pick up Snapcaster for Burst Lightning, or for Banefire, depending on which one's more damage. 6 mana for our opponent. Kind of hoping it's a creature that can be countered. That is not a creature that can be countered. Okay, well, we're going to have to cast this not kicked and shoot our opponent for 2. There goes the rest of our hand. No attacks for our opponent. We untap, we draw Steam Vents. So we animate Colonnade and attack. It's only bad if our opponent has Dismember, but even then they're still losing life. Go to combat. Attack our opponent for 4. They go to 11. Uptick to Fairy. Play Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. So we're leaving Snapcaster on board for now, which is really bad if our opponent has a removal spell. I just don't think we can play around it. We needed to pick up Snapcaster. Like, we had to pick up Snapcaster for Banefire. I don't know. I don't think we can win now. Not unless our opponent just has no answer for Colonnade. Okay, we draw Volcanic Island. Fire up Colonnade. Hit him for 4. Okay. Well, if they don't have an answer for 2 more turns, we might be there. We're going to hold Volcanic Island. We don't have any other big X spells to my knowledge. Opponent plays a Midnight Reaper. That will let them draw a lot of cards. They attack for 2, that's fine. We'll take it. We go to 18. If they don't have an answer, we are not going to be letting them draw one. Okay. Animate Colonnade. Go to combat. Hit them for 4. Take them to 3. So opponent has 1 draw step. They play a land. They dread return Stonecoil Serpent because it has reach. Oh, this is so they can draw a card. Okay. This does let them draw. And they lose 1 life. Sure. Oh, we got there. And that's why you draft Colonnade, kids. Whoo! Colonnade OP! We got extremely lucky. That Ashiok went for so long and was just completely unanswered. So, alright, I'll see you guys in round 3. Alright, round 3, here we go. Yeah, we will keep. This is a good opener. We might be able to flashback Ancestral Visions with Dreadhorde Arcanist. That would be awesome. Opponent starts Mountain. Looting. Okay. Kind of hoping they're an aggressive deck with the amount of removal that we have. Oh my no. Okay. Suspend Ancestral Vision. Opponent is Grixis, it looks like. They play a Swamp. Pass the turn, Ancestral taken down. We draw Young Pyro. No reason not to play Young Pyro here. We could have just played Dreadhorde Arcanist and threatened that whole situation. But I think Young Pyro is a little bit better if he survives. Because if he survives, we can start getting aggressive. As long as our opponent doesn't leave 2 red mana untapped. That would be bad. Just Chain Lightning my own Young Pyro. Reanimates Silumgar. Okay. That hurts a lot. We have no white mana for Condemn either. Opponent plays a Fabled Passage. Ancestral Vision's ticking down. We draw Ponder. Well, let's go Pondering. We need white mana. Searing Spear, Island, Scalding Tarn. We will not shuffle. Play Scalding Tarn. Okay. Pass the turn. We have Condemn here. We're going to really need it to resolve, too. Because without Condemn, I don't think we can win. Our opponent is likely going to get at least a token. So. Okay. Opponent goes attacking. Here we go. Big play time. Get Tundra. Condemn Silumgar. Oh my gosh, it worked. Okay, opponent flashbacks Faithless Looting. So they are going to have a Croxa. Oh, they have Through the Breach. This is a very scary deck. Okay, we untap. Ancestral Vision's ticking down. We draw Teferi. So let's Chain Lightning our opponent. Make a token. Brainstorm. Make a token. Put 2 cards back on top of your deck. We should probably play Arcanist this turn, but then we're not playing Teferi. I just think Arcanist and being a little more aggressive is better. So we put back Burst Lightning, and Colonnade on top of that, play a Mountain, go to combat, attack for 2, play Arcanist, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain and has Damnation. That's super bad for us. Okay, well, Ancestral Vision coming off of Suspend. Targeting ourself. We draw Daze and the 2 cards we put back. And a Volcanic Island. So play Volcanic Island. Play Teferi. Uptick Teferi. We draw Banefire. Okay. Hopefully we're able to burn our opponent out. Untap these. Pass the turn. Opponent gets a Croxa. Okay. They can have a Croxa. So it gets to stay. We are going to discard Colonnade. Pass the turn. We're going to Lightning Helix at our opponent's end step. We have a Daze if they have a counterspell. That isn't Force. We untap. We draw Plains. Play the Plains. Tuck Croxa. We could just full power Burst Lightning right now. Take our opponent to 7, but we need 2 more lands for Banefire to be lethal. So I think we just wait. It does open us up to a counterspell, but I don't think there's anything else we can do. Is there nothing else we can do? Alright, yeah. We'll pass. Opponent plays a Swamp. Plays a Search for Iskanta. Maximum Burst Lightning. That's 6 damage. We could take them to 1. Teferi Time Raveler. Play Teferi Time Raveler. Bounce Search. We draw Glacial Fortress. Okay, so next turn, barring no other disruptions, we should have lethal. We have a Daze as our only actual protection. Okay. Is it Charm? Opponent goes looting. Opponent plays a Misty, cracks a Misty. Gets an island. Glenalandra, but with no blue mana. And it wouldn't matter anyway because Banefire is uncounterable. We draw Gideon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yup. Alright. Uncounterable Banefire. Did we get you? Okay, 1 hour and 45 minutes to win the next 2 games. Oh, man. So our opponent is playing a big Grixis deck. We should probably have Tameo, as she can lock down things like Croxa. I just don't know what we would take out for her. Let's run it back. If we get, like, Mind Shattered or something at any point, we're probably just toast. Alright, you can do this, Kano. Don't choke. Okay, while not amazing, this hand is pretty good. Opponent starts island. That's fine. We draw Steam Vents, so we'll play Seachrome Coast. Pass the turn. I think our best draw would be Daze. Opponent plays a Mountain. And a Looter Eel Core. We untap. We draw Narset. Play Volcanic Island. Young Pyro. Pass the turn. Depending on what our opponent does this turn, we're probably playing Narset and trying to follow her up with Supreme Verdict. Okay, opponent attacks us. No blocks. They draw and discard. We have like no grave hate. Terastodon! Alright, scary. Very scary. Opponent plays Polluted Delta, cracks Polluted Delta, gets an island, and plays Narset. They go Impulsing, and they find Necromancy. We have no way to disrupt their mana, and if they just have a black source, they're going to blow up all of our lands. Which is a big problem. Daze is nice, but Daze is not going to protect us from our opponent playing a black land and just casting Necromancy. Okay. Okay, so I think what we do here is we play Steam Vents, play Narset, and attack Narset. We start by attacking Narset. I'm kind of hoping our opponent does not have black mana. Okay, so we prevent them from impulsing again. Play Steam Vents untapped. The problem is our opponent is almost certainly going to destroy a Seachrome Coast. Okay, we'll get a Searing Spear. Pass the turn. No black mana. Come on, no black mana. Okay, opponent attacks Narset, that's fine. Oh, shoot, there's black mana. We can Daze... No, we can't, because we don't know what they're targeting. I was going to say we could Daze to prevent our opponent from destroying one of our islands, but we cannot. Okay, well, this is happening now. In comes Tarnastodon, because he's so nasty. But it probably blows up our Narset, because it seems like they really want it gone. No. Alright. Okay. We get some tokens. We get a Lightning Helix. Play Scalding Tarn. Pass the turn. No attacks. While we could technically burn Tarnastodon, we're gonna try and condemn it first. And hopefully that works. Okay, opponent plays a Search for Iskanta. Goes to combat. Attacks for 1 and for 3. Decides just to attack for 1. Well, I think we have to get Tundra. And just try Helixing, I guess. Get a token. Mountain. Every extra land we draw here is a godsend. Alright, so now we have Condemned Daze and Searing Spear available. No attackers. Can't afford to attack. Okay, opponent cracks Bloodstained Mire for a Steam Vents tapped. Untaps. Search for Iskanta. Probably mills something. It's a swamp they mill. And play a Fabled Passage. So Search for Iskanta going to be coming online very shortly. No attacks. I think we got a Searing Spear Narset. Make a token. Kill Narset. Untap. Draw an island. Play an island. Pass the turn, holding up Condemn and Daze. Wish we could play Gideon. Okay, opponent cracks Fabled Passage. Gets a swamp. Search for Iskanta. Flips. Opponent plays a mountain. And a Glen Elandra Archmage. That is a little bit of a problem. We untap. We draw to Fairy. So we still can't Verdict. Still can't really do anything. Pass. Okay, opponent gonna go attacking. I hate doing this, but I think we gotta blow Condemn here. Okay. Opponent counters it. They want to keep their other Glenalandra Archmage online. Activated ability. Opponent plays a Misty. We untap. Draw Cryptic. Okay. So I think we're going to beginning of combat, tap, draw. Opponent cracks Misty. We could bounce Terastodon, but I don't know which is worse, letting them keep it in their hand or in their grave. Let's see what our opponent gets here. Damnation. Okay. So we're going to let our opponent attack because they drew a board wipe. They play a mountain. They attack Narset. Sure. We're going to play a Spell Seeker. Let's see what they get. Is it Charm? Alright. Well, they have to either use up their Glenalandra or their Is It Charm. And Is It Charm right now is not drawing them any extra cards. Okay. Get another token. We get a Glacial Fortress. So if we swing out, they block here, here, and here. And they take 4. And then we can uncounterably Wrath the board. We know they're holding a Damnation, but they're not holding much else. Though they do have an active search. Yeah, because we can't resolve any other non-creature spells. So, let's do it. Swing for the fences. Opponent blocks, blocks, and blocks. Takes 4. Wrath the board. Okay. Oh shoot, don't F6. I mean, Daze isn't likely to counter anything, but you never know, right? Okay, opponent activates as Kanta. Living Death! Oh no! No, 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 no. Oh, we cannot allow this. I am glad I did not F6, because holy hell. The opponent says, nice! Alright. So now I either play Gideon or Teferi. And I think it's better to play Teferi. Gideon puts them on a clock, though. Which one would I rather resolve through a counterspell? Probably Teferi, because we're going to win this game by getting more cards, I think. Alright. Just not that card. Probably should have played Gideon. Heap big, tap out Remorse, I think. They whiff off of Ascanta. That's amazing. Untap. We draw Brainstorm. Take up to Fairy. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Well, we can use him to test the water. It resolved. So now, unless our opponent has a censor... Yes! Oh, I think we got there. I think we got there. Dak Faden for our opponent. Well, if they want to tick him up, they just discard 2 cards. We don't have anything they can steal. Okay, opponent Damnations. That makes sense. It's like the only time it's going to be good for them. We draw Ancestral Visions. Make a Knight. Tick up to Fairy. Play Colonnade. Suspend Ancestral. Pass the turn, untapping Colonnade and Island. If we get to Alta Teferi and then draw 6 cards in a turn, it's going to be great. 4 mana. 5 mana for a Through the Breach. Okay. Through the Breach, Emrakul. Okay. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks Teferi. So I think we're just going to throw a bunch of lands under the bus. Fire up Colonnade. So we sack Knight, Island, Mountain, Island, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have to sack Narset? Ooh, I think we do, but at this point drawing extra cards is probably bad for them. We block Emrakul. Oh no, because our opponent gets to shuffle their whole graveyard back in. But now they can play Dak. I was kind of hoping they didn't have Emrakul. Okay, opponent ponders. They choose not to shuffle. I think they know they're going to shuffle anyway. They're going to reanimate Terastodon? No! You can't just blow up everything I own. Unbelievable. We have a Burst Lightning left in our deck, and that's it. They're going to blow up our Planeswalkers and one of their own lands. Yeah, okay. There's nothing we can do about it. And then they sack Emrakul. So if we had a way to answer their creatures, we could get in for damage. Ancestral Vision's ticking down. We draw an island. So play Misty, Brainstorm, Chain Lightning, Burst Lightning. Put back Augur, put back Island. Chain Lightning goes to the Dome. And now we wait. I forgot about Chain Lightning. We might actually still win this game through an Emrakul hasted and 2 Terastodons. This control deck will not be kept down. Opponent cracks Fabled Passage, gets an island, I think. Careful Consideration. Okay. So they draw 4 cards and discard 2 cards. They discard Reanimate in the Swamp. Our Volcanic Island is in the grave. Oh! No! Unbelievable. Okay, let's take a look at our deck here. What do we have that can win? We're drawing to Banefire. Banefire can win. Okay. We're not out of it yet, but we are hanging on by the tiniest of hopes. So we have to discard Burst Lightning because we don't have double red. We didn't have another red source there. Opponent plays Dak Faden. Goes looting. We don't have Snapcaster, do we? If we still have Snapcaster in the deck, we are also drawing to a Snapcaster. I don't see it in the grave, so it is possible. Okay, Ancestral. Taken down. We draw Yidaro. Which we are going to cycle, because we could hit a land. It's a land. Ooh, they can't just destroy 1 red land. Oh, man. This is so intense. I've not gotten this hyped about a game of Magic in forever. This is good Magic. Niv Mizzet? Oh, man. Okay. Depending on whether or not they have enough draws to shoot down an elephant, we may only have 1 turn to draw. Oh, no. Oh, no. They shoot an elephant twice. And they play Champion. Oh, we have to block. Oh no, we may not actually survive. Our opponent is going to be drawing so many cards. So they kill the elephant. They shoot us for 1. Oh, we gotta draw Snapcaster or Banefire this turn. We block here, we take 3, we go to 14, and our opponent definitely has 14 next turn. Okay, Snapcaster or Banefire. Snapcaster or Banefire. Ponder, that's a redraw. That's a very good redraw. Opponent gets to ping us for 1. Idaro doesn't do it. Shuffle, yes. Teferi. Teferi, we can bounce Terastodon, and then our opponent will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from Teferi, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're still dead. Are we if we bounce Niv-Mizzet? Yes. Wow. Well, we're still gonna do it. Bounce Terastodon. Oh, no, we don't. We might not be dead. We're either dead exactly, or our opponent has Croxa. They can just get back Croxa and kill us. Shoots to Fairy. Are we still dead to Croxa? We lose 3. They hit us for... Yeah, they hit us for 10. Okay, they got us. Damn, opponent. Nice job. We went down swinging because we survived 2 Terastodons and an Emrakul. Wow. Alright, well, opponent has 6 minutes left to kill us in game 3, and we only had 1 more turn on that Ancestral. Our literal next draw would kill them. Oh, man. Oh, man. We would have got him. We could bring in Crater Maker and send him in to kill Emrakul. I don't think that's good. I think we just run it back and try and win. Oh man, this is epic. Epic control matchup. Alright, we'll play first. It's a good hand, we'll keep. Opponent mulligans to 6. Okay. We start Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. We do have a Daze online if it was to become necessary. Okay, opponent starts Swamp. We draw land tax. Play land tax. Now if we Daze, it's just profit. Opponent plays a Misty. Draw Seachrome Coast. Play Seachrome Coast. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Misty. Goes and finds a Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. Plays a Drowned Catacomb. Well, send Searing Spear face. Untap. Draw Plains. Play Misty. Pass the turn. We're going to hold Chain Lightning for a bit. Opponent plays an island. Passes, we draw. Remove Soul. Play a mountain, pass the turn. Opponent plays a swamp. Plays a Spell Seeker. Yeah, I think we're going to do this. I don't want my opponent tutoring for spells. Might seem like kind of a waste, and it is a little bit, but... Okay, we're going to fetch up a basic island. Play Scalding Tarn, pass the turn. We have Daze, but that's it. Okay, opponent careful considerations. Problem is we're almost out of basics for land tax, so if we do get like Emrakul or something, we're gonna have a bad time. Frost Titan. Okay, it is a way to win the game quickly. Tapping Steam Vents, sure. Problem is they're playing like they have Living Death. Okay, we have Cryptic, which makes me feel slightly better. Play an island, pass the turn. Glenalandra Archmage. I think we go counter draw. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay. They're going to cast Reanimate on Glenalandra, okay? Yep. You got it. We need to draw Supreme Verdict. We take 6. Verdict. Talrand. Alright, Talrand might do something. So play Talrand. Chain Lightning Glenalandra. Make a Drake. Okay, it persists. And then I think we just play Dreadhorde Arcanist. Because if our opponent Damnations and then Living Deaths, we're screwed. Well, we have a return an island to our hand, make it Drake. That's what our card says right now. So opponent attacks. They're going to tap Steam Vents. Okay, well, chump, take 1, go to 11. Opponent plays a mountain. Yeah, that's a Living Death. Opponent gets Terastodon, Spellseeker, and Niv-Mizzet. Alright, Supreme Verdict off the top 1 time. Blows up 3 of his own lands. We have to have Supreme Verdict or like Brainstorm into Supreme Verdict, and there's just no other way. Okay, Verdict. 1-time Verdict. Alright, play Young Pyromancer. I don't even think that keeps us alive, even if we somehow daze. And are able to block with both. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh yeah, never mind, they can just kill him. I was robbed. Oh, I was robbed. Call the police, because this is highway robbery. At least... at least we went 2-1. Oh my god. It was the most epic control matchup I've played in a long time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a good league. I really enjoyed playing it, and I hope we play more like this one, because that's the kind of Magic I enjoy playing. Something that goes to turn 30 with crazy power struggles and awesome plays and sweet luck on both sides, and yeah. Anyway, let me know if you like this video. Drop a like, leave a comment. I will respond if you leave a comment, most likely. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined. It supports me and it costs you nothing. It's one of the best ways you can support a YouTuber on YouTube. You can also follow me on Twitch when I stream live. I usually stream live on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Same username there as you find me here. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!